So many ways that I really wanna go. Hot on the beat, gonna bust this flow. Do you guys wanna hear the hippity hip hop? I see that you're gonna go dance the drip drop.
Yes, my first memory is me floating in a black abyss, and I believe it was either before I came into this life, so it's like the void between space and time, or it was like when I was in the womb and floating around in this like sort of black, darker area. So yeah, I've been kind of trying to actually figure out where that came from. I'm 37 now, so I've got a few more years, I guess, to try to figure that all out. But yeah, that was my first memory.
I'll get down with the real. I'll be real.
Can I do mine first? Because mine's
Yeah,
going to be
do it.
lame.
I think I always feel like I was 5 years old, but I have no idea if I actually was.
Probably be going to like kindergarten and just remember being tiny and everyone else is huge and being scared and having mum there and probably crying as well. That's about it.
I cracked my skull open a couple of times that year just on bikes and playing around in the pool.
My earliest memory is probably sometime around preschool, but I also remember taking a train with my grandmother.
And then getting in a lot of trouble for throwing a rock through my dad's window of his car.
But I don't know chronologically which one of those was first. So let's just say I was taking a train with my grandmother to preschool. And as far as the potency, I remember it. I don't remember much else about it. I remember they happened, and I remember sitting in the seat and wanting to get off of the train.
I guess they're like the first times you really properly hurt yourself. They probably stick with you. And then also the first time you really get in trouble and you step over that line, like you go way too far over that line.
My earliest childhood memory would probably be me on Christmas morning opening up presents, but it's very vague, not very potent. And for the rest of that, I really don't have very early memories.
You sort of pushing, and you find that you're learning that line of where's too far and why.
I would say when I was anywhere between like 2 and 3, I remember going to the front door. This is when my dad was still alive. I opened the front door naked, and the postman was there.
I still push the line as much as I can.
Now, my parents used to hike when I was young, and I was maybe 3.
The earliest memory for me is kind of hazy, and I'm not sure how old I was, and it's not that important. It was just maybe I was like 3 years old or something. Just watching my mom fold laundry, and she was watching something on TV, like The Nanny or something. I'm not sure. And then like I remember the sun streaming and like seeing some dust. I don't know. That's all I remember. It's not important or anything. So yeah, it's like.
I remember being in a sort of bag in the back of my dad.
I was 4 too. I remember my earliest memory. I was 4, yeah, and it was Christmas, and I was in Mexico, and I remember it was maybe, I mean, the sun wasn't even up yet, but my mom and my dad woke us up, my brother and I, and they were like, "It's Christmas, come open your presents," and that's the last memory I remember, the youngest memory, and it is very important because that's the last Christmas I had with my family together. So it's very significant.
So I did all the hike in the back of my dad, and I remember seeing everything very high. I was high.
My earliest memory is when I was probably 3 or 4 and pushing my sister around in a little wheelbarrow. And we stopped at the top of the stairs to fill up on gas.
That's cute.
That's all I remember.
My earliest memory was living in my grandmother's house. Turned around the stairs. I was going down to the basement to get a toy. And I remembered I didn't say, "I love you, grandmother." So I turned around and said, "I'm going downstairs. I love you." That's my earliest memory. So yeah, for love to be my first memory is really important.
I think around 2, and I just finished a bath, and I was waiting with the towel wrapped around me for my mom to like come in and do the things you do when you're 2 years old. And at the time we had those big 70s like mirrors that were like the walls for the closets. And I remember catching like the reflection of my own eyes for like the first time in it. And the literal thought was feeling like I was something inside of something, like inside of a body. Like, and my thought was like, what am I? Like what am I in right now? And it was like the most obscurely like profound memory I've had, but it's been there ever since. I don't know. Yeah. So it wasn't even who am I, because I didn't even have enough like thought for that, but it was very much a like what am I? Like what am I in right now?